It's your girl D Nice, and we back in the building with another EP.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's
What,
me. Hey,
who are you?
hey.
Who?
Money. Your favorite. Your absolute favorite.
Bitch, I see what you did there.
Yeah, the one you love to hate, of course. But I love her down. So I want to start off by saying Happy Women's Month. Yes, it's our time. But I want to give a shout out to all the women out there who are working hard towards their goals, literally fighting adversity every day just to be able to sleep good at night. And those women out there who's taking their time to enjoy life, to enjoy their beauty, to embrace themselves full-heartedly. Like, I love y'all. We see y'all. And this goes out to you.
This is for you. Okay.
You. My number
Because I was
one.
going to do it. My number
Yes,
one.
so I really want to give a shout out to y'all because I am one of y'all. And I understand how hard it is. And this is aside from being a mom. This is literally focused on being a woman. Like, it's hard out here for a pimp. And I know. I know. I know. So I hope you guys are really taking this month to try to find your space, to be the greatest you can be, understanding that it's okay. Society is a scam anyway, so it's okay, and it's gonna be okay. But for those women out there who are just treacherous, trying to knock down any and everybody, and aren't putting on for their kids, this is not for you, because you're not my number one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We don't know what you are, but no.
Well, I wasn't,
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say L woman type.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. No,
Yeah.
I really actually don't have a lot to say on that. Women are great, but some women are simply not.
Wrap them up.
Okay, and that's rough.
Send them back where they came from because they're not welcomed
That's rough.
at all.
You hate to hear it.
So, sidebar, I'll be on the tiki-taki. Yeah, so I was on there and I saw a lot of questionable things, but I think I saw this on TikTok. Well, I saw it on Instagram first, and then I saw it on TikTok, like more in depth of what actually happened. But before I get to that, I just remember, shout out Angie Stone. Like, rest in peace, baby girl. You are my childhood. And I ain't gonna lie, car crashes are my biggest fear. So whenever I hear somebody, it don't matter who they are, like, I don't even have to know the person, but whenever I hear somebody, passed away in a car crash, it's very touching. And I really want to say, like, shout out to her family because they need all the strength they can get right now. But I think the most questionable thing behind that is the fact that she was in a sprinter that consisted of 9 people, and she's the only one that got hurt bad enough to take her life. Like, that is crazy to me. I can't even fathom how that could have took place. And I mean, I know it's not my place, but it really just makes you wonder, like, was it a setup?
I was actually, because we had slightly or very, quickly brought this up amongst ourselves, and I was like, Angie Stone, though? Like, who would set up Angie Stone? Like, she just, lived her fullest life, just living life at this point in the background, just doing, living off of her royalties and stuff. But it's like, you really never know what she, like how Denise said, she mentioned, you really never know what they're into. Now, this is not to say that she was into anything that may have caused her malice or harm, but you really also never know when things are a setup for real, especially when it comes to Hollywood.
And that's the truth.
And all that. Like,
That's the truth. And not even that, like, you really don't know the people around you who really don't have your best interests at heart. Because I mean, even if she was really just a really good person, like what's her name? That her Selena. You know, she was a really good person, yet somebody she really didn't think would do that to her really took her life for no apparent reason. Well, of course, the lady had a reason, but to the eyes of us, that wasn't a valid enough reason to take her life. So for me, I look at it like that. Like, you know, I've never heard anything bad about Angie Stone or her being involved in anything that was malicious. So for me, it's just like maybe somebody just really, not even somebody, people really hate when you bring, or when you have that what is it called, like that aura on you, to where you have, where people draw, where it draws people to you. Like, you know, you can't help it, it's just who you are, and it kind of really just, it's a part of you, regardless of how much you change or what you change about yourself. It does not stop people from gravitating towards you because you have that energy that a lot of people want. So for me, like, there is people out there who hate that within, like, hate that they don't have that. And if they're consistently around somebody who does, you know, it can bring out the worst in people, you know. But not saying that that was the case. It's just questionable, you know, because just thinking, like, I just wouldn't want to see anybody, like, even though it's Angie Stone, but just anybody having to experience such a painful death, in all honesty. And just like, she just came from doing a show, like, she's in good spirits, like, well, outside looking in, because I don't know what was going on in that Sprinter, I don't, but just knowing, just experiencing her music to the level that I have, I just always got greatness from her and like good energy. So for me, my last thought of her, like, you know, me speaking on her will always just be positive. I will always just see greatness and goodness in her. So it's really sad. Rest in peace.
Rest
you know,
in peace, Angie.
I hate to see it, but life happens to us in ways we can never imagine. So, but to get back on what I was saying. So I saw this post. So I saw it originally on Instagram, and then I saw it more in depth on TikTok. Now, I'm going to give y'all the names, because I'm pretty sure once I say the names, you're going to know what I'm talking about. So it's about Hannah Grace Cobb and Telbo Rankins. So
I never know anybody's names
So
or nothing. So
Telbo, I'm going to just say it like that. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Telbo and Hannah was in a relationship. Backstory, Telbo is the man. He's black, African American. And Hannah, she's white.
Oh.
She's a white woman. And I talk about this because we are in women's history, and it's going to show more in depth of what I'm getting at. So Telbo spoke down, like, before the situation happened or occurred, he spoke down on African American women on any platform he had, whether it was Twitter, Facebook. A lot of people say they didn't see it on his Facebook account, but they said on his Twitter he was going in. Like, he was saying some real vulgar things about how he would never date us. Even if he had to date an animal, it would have to be a snow bunny. And I mean, granted, there are a lot of men out there who feel that way, which is sad, but to each his own. That's your choice. Like, you know, that's your preference. And as much as I want to knock him for it, I can't, because I also have a preference, but I'm not out there shooting down or tearing down nobody else just because I have a preference. So, yes, he's granted to his preference. Yeah. So he got what he preferred. A white woman who was Hannah. I think they said they were together for like a year. I could be wrong. It could have been 2 years. But I know for sure it was a year at least. They weren't together for months. They were together for at least a year. And she went out one night. I don't know if she was with friends, family, or whatever. She went out one night. She was having a good time. They showed like images. They didn't show videos. It could have been videos out there, but from what I saw, there were images of her like drinking and just having a good time. Like, you know, as if she was with her girls, really just living it up. You know, you in a relationship, it's kind of hard for you to, it don't be hard, but you have to kind of plan your days accordingly when it come down to meeting up with the girls. So it looked like it was one of those where she haven't been out in a while and she just was living it up.
She was outside.
She was outside, right. She was outside living it up. And he was at home. Supposedly when she arrived home, he was asleep. He was asleep in their bed. They lived together. Context behind that, they did live together. So he was asleep in their bed. This is her story. Her story is he was sleeping in bed when she got home. She was drunk because she was out drinking and having a good time. When she got home, she decided that she wanted to clean her gun. And while she was cleaning her gun, it went off and killed him. His cousin initially posted that when the gun went off, it shot him in the head. But after autopsy and all that got released to the public, he was shot in the chest, rushed to the hospital. He died at the hospital. After reading the comments, you know, initially in my head when I read it, I got upset because I didn't know the slander that he had or the negative viewpoint he had on black women. So initially I got upset, like, dang, that's crazy, because when I was reading it too, they said that she was still free. She did not get taken into custody. They didn't take her to jail. They didn't do nothing. They pretty much took her statement and told her, okay, we'll figure it out from here. That's how I looked at it, like, you know. So she was able to still walk the streets after cleaning her gun while drunk.
Ah, silly bitch.
So initially, before I even opened the comments, I'm like, nah, I gotta read the comments because I know I'm gonna find out what I need to find out. As soon as I opened them comments, there was nothing but black women like, this ain't our problem. Right, this ain't our fight. Let's keep it pushing. You know, anybody want anything from the store? No. All right. You know, we're gonna move past this.
Not from the store. I'm sorry.
Because this, you know, this what he wanted. This what he chose. And he made that very clear in the most vulgar way that he could. And not saying that it makes it right. Not saying that this is what he deserved. No. But at the end of the day, we can't rally up for someone as far as us women, us black women. Because I know black males, they're not going to really do too much in the forefront for justice. But us African American females cannot rally up for this man because he made it clear that he despised us. Mind you, his family was saying that they didn't condone the things that he was saying, but they gonna stand beside him. And I get it, because regardless of what my son chooses or what he does, I'm gonna stick beside him. That's my son. But that doesn't mean that I won't inform him that if anything does go down, you're going to be alone in this. It's probably just going to be me and you. Because the hatred that you show towards black women is just...
burned all the bridges.
Right.
Even the smallest little bit of a bridge or walkway, pathway over a very large dam or something, you pretty much broke that when you pretty much like disembodied a very, you know, large portion of your people. Granted, you are a man. You're supposed to still, like, I'm not gonna say ride by your black women, but it's
He
like
has a black mother.
You can't be a black man with a black mother and sit there and talk about black women like that. That mess goes crazy. But there are a lot of people who will do the craziest things to support people who do not care for them, not even a little bit. Donald Trump.
Amen.
Make America great again. But we don't have to get into that. We don't have to.
Because
we don't have to talk about.
He would have to have his own segment, and they might not even let us post it because it's just going to be all negative.
Yeah, the whole thing about to get taken down. But that's like you can't expect to have people come to support you, even though, you know, granted, something. This is still very tragic, okay? That's just the bottom line. Regardless of whom he may or may not have supported, nobody should ever have their life taken in any capacity at all.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to start with me hearing the story just from how she's telling it right now. Because I scrolled past it, or I kind of read a little bit about it, didn't really know who they were, and I just said that's tragic, and I kept moving. I'm not gonna lie. Now, hearing about his viewpoint on black women, like I said, it doesn't necessarily warrant anything bad to happen to him. But I just need to understand, how is it that when you outside, right? I'm not even gonna make this a race thing. This is gonna be a general thing.
General.
Nobody's going outside having a blast of a time, an excellent time after being in the house or whatever the case may be. Nobody's gonna come home and immediately start cleaning their gun. I'm sorry, you're simply just not gonna do that. If you're out having a good time, you're not thinking about cleaning your gun, you're thinking about coming home and you're thinking about getting in the bed, okay? Maybe, I don't know, you might make some bacon or something. I don't know. You probably make some food and then go to bed. You're not gonna grab your gun and, well, if you're cleaning it correctly, you're not gonna disassemble it, take one out the chamber, clean the shit down, wipe the shit down, put everything back together, pop it. You're not gonna do that, okay? I have very faint knowledge of how to clean a gun. I'm gonna be honest. When you clean a gun, it's not supposed to be anything in the chamber. Okay? You're supposed to pop the joint out.
Simple.
And the fact that it was one in there just is enough for her to be convicted, me personally. But we know how that's probably going to play out.
And in all honesty, I agree. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what race you are, it could have been, let's just say, two white people. A white man and a white woman in this instance. I still would feel the same way, because at the end of the day, that person didn't deserve it. Like, you know, we don't know what happened behind closed doors to get her to that point. But instead of taking the gun out to clean it, let's pack a bag and hit the hay. Let's get lost to where we can't be found, you know? And I understand in certain situations, people have a hard time leaving. But I feel like when it comes down to actually taking a life, that should be even harder. Especially if you're having a hard time leaving because you see how much potential a person has, or how much you love them, or whatever the case may be. That should also be the reason why it should be hard for you to pull the trigger. Let's just say that. Because like she said, there's no way that I'm going out with my girls. And I don't even have girls. I got my one girl right here. There's no.
No. I was just thinking about what you were saying. Wait, so was she? Because you were saying instead of, you know, cleaning the gun, pack it back and get up out of there. Was he like abusing her?
So that's what I'm saying. There was nothing specified regarding that, which is why I said, because I'm basing it off. Yeah, I'm basing it off of you. Like, if I'm having a good time with my girls, home is secured. There's no foul play going on there. My first mind is I'm drunk, right? I'm drunk. My first mind is to get in bed and hunch on that man, ride his face until the break of dawn. Not go get that gun and let's clean it because tomorrow we're playing Mortal Kombat
Finish him.
or whatever the hell you play with a gun. What do they call that? Call of Duty.
Halo.
Hey, right. The world has not ended just yet. So for me,
God.
it's just like, okay, well, maybe there was something going on because, you know, when people get drunk, they get into a mindset that they normally wouldn't be in if they were sober.
You're ready to risk it all.
Right. Mm-hmm. So me not knowing what type of mindset she was in, not trying to validate what she did, but it would kind of go hand in hand as to why she would get drunk and first thing to do, pull out a gun, right? So even if that is the case, though, even if it did go to the extent to where he was putting his hands on her, abusing her, whether it's mentally, physically, or emotionally, it's still abuse. But it doesn't give her the right to take it into her own hands, because there were other options that she could have took on that would have played better in her favor, because they did take her into custody, but they did it as involuntary manslaughter. me not knowing how much time she got, that was just the verdict of what it ended out to be. Again, they're in the South. So we all know that the South is not really for us African Americans.
Yeah, no, she's cooked.
But the fact that they even took her in, I mean, I'm
That's a
pleased.
start.
I'm
I would
pleased.
say that's a start. Even though that might be the most we get, even with the involuntary manslaughter stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna be walking real soon, and that's tragic. But
Yeah, because she's not gonna have to do that all the time that they
Mm-hmm.
gave her. She's only gonna have to do probably not even half, depending on if she does go to trial. Because again, this is new. This happened I want to say the middle of February after Valentine's Day. So it's still new. She still can't go to trial. Don't know what's happening behind that because I kind of decided just to not go into a rabbit hole.
Like they said, it's not our fight.
It's because
all we can
because
do
it's not our
is
fight.
Chalk up the R.I.Ps for that young man.
Right.
I wish you just.
And I hope it's a lesson. I mean, it's Women's Month. I don't want to talk too much about the man species because we already know how that plays out. But I really hope it's a light bulb for a lot of men out there who want to throw shade on any women, whether it be white women, black women, Asian women of any race. Like, before you throw shade on a woman because of her ethnicity that she had no control over at birth, like, really think about who you are, what type of man you are, and what you bring to the table, and how does anybody else's race come into play with that? Like, how does anybody else's race benefit you or take from you in that sense? Like, you just think about, you don't really have to do that, especially if you know that you have a preference. Like I said, I have a preference too, but I don't have to, and I will not shun down anybody else or break down anybody else because of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just FYI,
And we're talking about specific for the race, okay? Because there are other reasons to bash men, okay? And women. Okay, I'll throw women in there too. But we're not going to do it specifically on race, okay? Men, you're trash because you're just trash. And women, you're trash because you are just simply trash, We'll do it like that.
Ain't shit ass niggas come in all type of races. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that part up in case y'all talk about men all the time. Yes, because they're just in general trash. It's not about them being black or white or Asian or Mexican or
persuasion.
I don't know, Salvadorian, whatever it is. Like, we don't care about the race. You're just trash in general. Now, just thought I'd clear that part up because y'all was gonna try it. I know y'all was.
So, I got into a TikTok argument last night. And I loved every minute of it.
And you know what? I'm happy you said that because I actually had to stop myself from getting into one on the Scamland TikTok.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotta hear about this. Come on,
it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just like some slight comments about the quality of the audio for the clips.
Oh.
Talking about which I don't even remember who you are. I don't know what your name was, but I know you're probably gonna see the clip because I am gonna post the clip. I'm gonna post this clip right here so you can see it.
And we will have you as a guest.
No, we won't.
Why?
Because I don't need them in my vicinity. Okay, they can sit there. They don't need no public exposure or nothing like that. They can sit where they at.
I mean, I had other things in mind, but yeah.
And that's fine about the other things that she may or may not have in her mind that I may or may not be able to confirm and may or may not even be realistic. We're just gonna pretend like this whole conversation never happened.
Okay.
But they were saying like, because I was talking about Drake. Which made it even worse because it's like, hey, you're not about to sit there and tell me the opinion I can or cannot have on my husband. Granted,
her husband this week,
ex-spouse.
Nah, her husband this week, y'all. Don't try to change
ex-spouse.
it.
No. I'm sorry. Despite the fact that we are no longer eloped, I do still very deeply care about Drake, okay? That is my very long time lover, okay? He's like one of my first, and I'll always have a deep connection with him. Now, if I can have my opinions as they come, okay? Especially because I'm gonna say it, I'm not a dick writer like y'all are, okay? Well,
Period.
Maybe, but not in like that, not in that type of way. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say something is good when it very clearly is not. He needs to know. And the people who are gonna sit there and just go along with it without saying, hey, maybe this is not your best work, you're not helping him, you're hurting him. Mm-hmm. So I still stand by all of my what's the word I'm looking for? I still stand by everything that I was saying in the last clip. Okay, I do not think that the album was good. It was cool. It definitely didn't meet my standards for what I thought would be a Drake and Party Next Door collab. Now, because you didn't like whomever you are, we're just gonna call you anonymous because we don't really care who you are. Because you didn't like my opinions, you decided to comment on the fact that you couldn't hear what I was saying because my mic was messed up, and proceeded to call me a brokey. Well, you know what?
Brokey, yeah.
Number one,
Brokey.
there's no newsflash here. I am broke, okay? I've got no
Same
money.
here.
So feel free. Send me a couple hundred, okay? And while you at it,
Since
send
you
me the
got it.
microphone that you have that has better quality than mine. Okay, I'll give you a P.O. box, okay? Send me some shit, okay? Put me on. Because I bet you ain't got nothing to send me.
And that's
But-
on period. No,
Like,
that's
go ahead,
on
let me get
period,
your
because
mic.
At the end of the day, it's just like you're on the outside looking in for one. You're not sitting on these seats for two. And for three, what the fuck are you doing?
And who gives a shit? Let's be
Yeah,
realistic.
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
And
I don't care.
But
Like-
that goes into my argument that I had. Because again, it's Women's Month. It's Women's Month. And I really, where's my phone at? Did I drop my phone? So I really need to go into, and it's crazy because the person who I was arguing with, I really want to give a shout out to this girl. She is a first time mom. And of course, even women who don't have children know how hard being a mom is, especially when you become a mom at a fairly young age. And we're not talking about the young age that I did it. We're not talking about 16. We're talking about 21 and up. If you're having a baby in your 20s, I mean, everybody knows 20s is like the years you are figuring it out. You're actually experiencing life as an adult, and you're trying to find out who you want to be. You're working hard towards who you want to be or who you want to become, whether that's for you or the children you have already. But regardless, when you bring a baby into this world, and I'm saying that if you do it when you're 30 or 40, it's still not challenging, but when you do it that early on, there are still more challenges you're facing, because not only are you not like completely stable, you're not like your mental growth is still happening at a fast rate. Like, just because you decided something when you were a teenager doesn't mean that's not changing as you are in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to find her page, but just some context behind it. She's a content creator. She does YouTube. But she had posted up a video, like basically showing, so mind you, she's in a relationship with her boyfriend. She's in a relationship with her boyfriend, which is her child's father. And she is, I want to say she's in her early 20s, but I don't think she's like 24. So they had a young boy together. She's pretty popular on TikTok too, and YouTube. So she has a large following. Her baby should be like 2-3 months, maybe. She was leaving him alone for a few days with the dad, not fully alone, but she was going out of town for a few days, and this was her first time leaving him. So the dad was driving them to the airport, or her to the airport. Her and the baby was in the back seat. The baby had just got done eating. Mind you, she didn't breastfeed the baby. Like, she wasn't holding the baby, breastfeeding the baby. She fed the baby while he was in the car seat. But once the baby had got done eating, she took the baby out while the car was still moving. She took the baby out to burp him, right? So I have 3 kids, and I breastfed 2. But regardless, all 3 of them got fed. But she took the baby out to burp him. Gave him a few kisses, hugs, and then put him back again. She's still going through the motions of her having to leave her baby alone. Or not alone, but without her for such a long period of time. Mm-hmm. And like I said in my first episode, as a mother, you have to take that time out to invest into yourself. But where I got into it was, I got to reading the comments, off of video she posted after that, saying that all the perfect moms were coming for her, and she was apologizing to the perfect mom, saying that she didn't think her posting that video was going to have such a negative effect on her social media. And in my head, I'm like, dang, it did. Because as a mother who has breastfed and has bottle fed, I've experienced a baby having, like, throwing up, choking after feeding them without taking them out to burp them. So I've done that. I've done that on multiple occasions where I take my baby out of a moving car to burp him or her. Or I've taken my baby, not out of a moving car, but out of their car seat.
Yeah.
Out of their car seat. Or if my baby is frantic. Like I can't calm him or her down. Like, you know, in my head, maybe they're in pain. Maybe, because if you leave a baby in a car seat for too long, it can have some effects on them. Some babies have died because of being left in the car seat for long periods of time. Not saying that, you know, that was the case. They were just going to the airport. But just context, you know? So, yes, I will take my baby out, burp the baby, calm the baby down, put the baby back. You know, I'm not driving around town with my infant baby in my hands, no. But I'm going to tend to that infant child because that infant child cannot tell me what's wrong. So maybe something is pinching the baby. You don't know what it can be. But my biggest fear as a mother with infant children was my children choking, you know, or suffocating, or being asleep and something's happening while they're asleep and I'm just not even attentive to them because the car is moving, you know? So the lady commented on her video and basically was like, she was getting into it with other people, and then she said she was going to call CPS on her. In my head alone, because I'm a case manager, and I've worked with the youth for a long period of time, but me being a case manager, and she said she worked for public social services, Department of Public Social Services, or whatever state she was in. So she understands how it works, and she kept saying that, everybody kept saying, like, regardless if you call CPS, they're not going to take her child from her. Based off this video, they're not. And she's arguing them down, like, yes, they are, yes, they are, yes, they are. They're going to take it, I know it. So in my head, I initially get upset. Because anybody who wants to, because mind you, the girl's well off. She's very well off. You can tell the baby's loved. You can tell that, well, the baby has both parents in the household. Mind you, both parents in the household. And the baby's always clean. There's no foul play when it comes to the child. Right, no signs of negligence.
Negligence, people, woo!
I always got to at least give you guys one. But, so in my head, when I know how CPS work, coming from me, if you know how CPS work, you should also know how the system work as well. And as far as the system, I mean, what happens to those kids after getting taken from a home and being put in a system to where they can't get their parents back. And yes, he's a young baby, he wouldn't even know. But what really ticked me off was that she was commenting on everybody else's comment under that, like trying to rally up a group of supporters of hers, people who support the way she feels, just so she can do whatever she said she was going to do. So I commented on her. I was like, I thought you was going to call CPS. Like, because right now all I see, you just doing a whole bunch of talking, like you trying to rally up a group of people. And before you come for me, I'm a case manager. So what it looks like is that the way you're going about it is going to have your job questioning your position in this situation as well. Because alone, if you're going to call CPS on somebody and you're going to do it in a way to where you're anonymous, the first thing you don't do is say, I'm going to call CPS. Like, come on now. Like, yes, a lot of people may have called CPS on her at that time, which was so unnecessary. But if you guys did, commenting and really dragging her throughout the way was just unnecessary, is what I'm trying to get at. And she's arguing with me like, what she said, she was like, you don't know what I did. I said, you're right. You're right. And she was like, and she tried to come. She was like, I'm worried for you because you think what she just did is okay. And I just told her like, you shouldn't be worried about me, but with all this worrying you got going on, you need to put some action behind it because this worry is going to stress you out.
It
You know
sounded
what
like
I'm
it already
saying?
was. There's
Right.
no reason you should be you don't call her a comment vulture because there's no reason
Yes.
why you need to be under somebody else's post just commenting under everybody else's comment. Do you have children? Do you have a life to live?
So she ended up saying like, you know, because I told her, I said like, well, you're doing all this commenting on people's posts or under other people's comments where you should be actually doing something about it if you really feel that strongly or if you really feel like she done something wrong. Or if you feel confident that CPS is going to allow her to get a better understanding, call them. And if you think they're going to take her baby, how about once CPS take her child, you call CPS or you do something in regard to you getting that child, since we see clearly you're a better option as a mother for this specific child. And she's like, oh, I already fostered so and so many amount of kids and yada, yada, yada. I said, well, wow, you having the knowledge that you have, you could have a better option instead of commenting and downgrading this person would be to DM her and provide her with the resources she needs so that she
Literally.
has a better understanding if she did do something
I was
wrong.
just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, since you're so knowledgeable,
Share the wealth.
like, you know, help her out in a way since you sitting up here. Because she said, well, I feel like she needs to know what she did was wrong. I wanted to say, baby, you ain't God. That he did not make that your job description when he put you in your mom's belly. But I proceeded to just say you could have provided her with the amount of resources she
Facts.
need just in case. It could have been a book maybe, or safety measures just in case. Like, or you could have just said your opinion, because I guess everybody's, you know, everybody's, what is that word?
Everybody has a
Entitled. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I guess you could have gave her your opinion and told her what she should have did instead of doing what she did. But in all reality, it just comes down to people be so invested, be way too invested. Like, sometimes, yes, leave a comment, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like I can move the world or move this person's situation to be different based off what I'm commenting. Like, you know, and again, I don't have that much hatred in my heart to really downplay somebody that much. Even if I feel like what they did wasn't okay, I still wouldn't be like, you know, I'm about to call the police, somebody find. No, I'm going to just be like, that's fucked up. Like, this person needs help. Somebody needs to do something. Like, if you guys know his family, like, maybe somebody should get in touch with their family. But for me knowing that my comment is not about to move nothing, if anything, me commenting on something that's already doing numbers is just going to get that person money. It's just going to give that person the limelight that they're looking for. So a lot of times I just keep it strolling. I just keep it pushing, because because a lot of people kept saying like something could have happened to the baby. Everybody know that Texas drivers are the worst. If something would have happened to her or the baby, it would not have shifted nobody in that comment's life in a way to where they could not come back from. The only people that would have been affected are the people who actually experienced the incident head first, or, you know.
Right. People in the car and the family and friends
Right.
of people who were harmed.
Right.
Not you
So-
as a comment vulture.
Right, because you're still going to go down somebody else's comment and do the same thing.
And
Like,
find
it's not
something to comment on.
taking no money from you or doing anything. And it just bothered me because it's just like, I'm a girl's girl, especially when it comes to moms. Like, I had my son at a very young age, and I made plenty of mistakes. Only difference between me and her was that I'm not a content creator, so the mistakes I made wasn't vlogged. Her mistakes are being vlogged, so yes, it does open up the community to be able to say whatever the hell they want to say, even if it's not valid. But that does not deflect from her becoming or being an amazing mom to her only child that she has. You can tell she loves that baby down. Like, down. And even if she didn't, her friends, the company she keeps, even the man that she has in her home as his father, loves that baby fully. So you can tell there's no foul play or anything stopping her from being a great mom. And it's Women's Month. Like, you decided that you were, like, come on, y'all. Like, y'all got to do better. Like, it's just, it just really come to a point to where you really, and I guess they say, like, the content creators and, like, famous people say it all the time. Like, people gonna have their comments. People gonna make up their own narrative and all that. But it's just crazy to know that people would take it to that extent to want to call CPS and really put somebody in a position to lose their only child, not knowing what that child could have done for that person. And I'm probably ranting right now, but it just, I
That's
think
valid though, because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not gonna say we did, but there was a time where there was something else was also happening on TikTok, where there was a couple that were doing like content on there, and I guess somebody found something wrong with it and also called CPS. Now
Yeah.
I don't know how true it was, whether they actually got the child taken, but I think they came back and said that they were
Yep.
coming to get the child. Now don't quote me on that because it was actually a really long time ago. I want to say maybe last year sometimes, but we had talked about it briefly because it was like, well, if you want to sit there and you want to have, if you want to care about it, like, that's fine. But for you to sit there and get involved and call CPS, 911, whatever the case may be, until you really can get stuff confirmed, it really ain't none of your business, for real. It really isn't
It's
none of your
not.
business. Like, especially if you don't have, like, cold, hard proof. People do, I'm not going to say it was fake, but people do a lot of things for content. Like, you don't know what's really happening. You don't know if it was staged. You
That's
don't
the
know if it
truth.
was a part of the plan. Like, you really don't know anything. And so for you to assume, based off of what you're seeing on the phone or off the computer, is actually insane for you to sit there and dial out a number, give details, tell them to sit there and say, hey, you should go over there and see. So now you get in somebody else, you calling somebody else to do their job based off what you've seen on social media that may or may not be true. So they're going to go all the way over there just to find out that ain't nothing wrong. Now you're just wasting everybody's time,
Right,
including
when
yours for commenting on
Yes.
everybody comment under somebody else's post. Like, not gonna lie, find a hobby, okay? There are great television shows as a foster parent you can watch. I don't know,
yes.
or maybe I don't know, go outside with your foster kids. I don't know,
Stand in some grass. Go hug a tree.
breathe air.
How about that?
Breathe air, and
You know
that
what I'm
goes
saying?
that just goes for everybody in general who likes to sit there and comment things on posts just because you just want to be annoying, you want to be a troll or whatever. Now I'm not gonna lie, I do it sometimes, but I do it on purpose because I think it's funny. Once I do my comment, I'm not going back to sit there and go back and forth with anybody. That's just something I'm just not doing. So it can be fun if you let it be fun, but then the second you have it become a job or something that you're doing that takes up more than 15 minutes of your day, you gotta find a hobby, okay? You
No,
gotta
for
find
real.
some creative way to, I don't know.
Go to the gym.
You gotta do something.
Go
You
to the
get
gym.
Facts. You just simply have to do
Release.
something else besides irritate somebody else for, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say comedic gestures because it wasn't funny. I'm not laughing,
was
okay?
not.
As somebody who does troll sometimes for laughter, that was not funny. So you lost. That's an F minus for you. Fail.
that's a serious accusation. Like, you going around
Literally.
playing with people's livelihoods, and not just the moms and the dads, but that babies. Like, what if they do take that baby and the baby end up in a system in a home where they were getting abused by somebody who's not a content creator? So you're not able to follow up and see how that baby's really living. You just took the baby out of a safe, protected, and loved home to put the baby in such an abusive environment to where it's going to destroy him as an adult. I mean, come on now. Our men are already mentally fucked up. Like, let's just put it like that. And I'm just going to be honest. A lot of our women are too, but a lot of our men that come out of the system, it's hard for them to find a common ground after all the things that they've been through. So it's like, especially when it stems from childhood trauma all the way to adulthood trauma. So it's just like, you really got to think about what you're doing before you just jump out there and say you're going to do A, B, and C because you're on a power trip, because you're going to use your position you're going to abuse your position against somebody else because of your own opinion and how emotionally attached you are to a situation. Like, that's just not fair. It's just really not fair. So for Women's Month, I want to give a shout out to all our moms who are making those mistakes, those minor mistakes, not the mistakes that you're doing to actually abuse or hurt a child, but mistakes as far as you trying to learn to become a better mom. Shout out to y'all.
Facts.
Like, because you have to make those mistakes, especially when you don't have what do they call it? A village behind you. Because I get it. I know. I understand. You know, you make those mistakes alone, and if you're living in the limelight of social media is your village, and they're gonna give you all the stupid ass fucking commentary they can. But from there, I hope you guys that are first time moms are just learning through your experiences. I hope you guys are taking that and really turning it to some fucking lemonade. Taking those lemons, turn into lemonade.
Okay, I'm about to
because
say, okay. There's no rule book.
There's no fucking
There's
rule
no
book.
manual to parent at all.
Do you guys see who they have as president? Let's fucking talk about that. Go ahead and come. God damn it, I can't even get into it.
That's what I'm saying. If y'all want to sit there and have strong opinions about something, you want to call somebody about something, man, go ahead and just read up on what your president is doing.
Yes, because
there's a lot, and I don't have
it's
all
getting
the
worse
details
by the day.
by the hour at this point.
And
God
I did
damn.
not know Elon Musk had 14 kids.
Yes, bro. I literally was saying that when I had found this out a long time ago. I was like, Elon Musk is
he's a
nigga.
He's an ain't shit ass nigga.
He is a nigga, and that
Deadbeat.
is fucking rough. Like, there's no way you got 14 kids by X amount of baby mamas.
And then the new one just so proud. Our baby Henry F. the Third, whatever the hell the baby name
Elon
is.
Musk is like he's like a baby Hitler or
so
something.
he is the vice president.
So I think what's happening, right, just from based off of what I've seen, because he's not technically the vice president at all, but because Elon Musk has so much money and Donald Trump flocks to money,
feeds all that.
He's going to do whatever Elon Musk wants him to because he wants the money. That's how I'm seeing it, because there's no reason why Elon Musk even needs to be this involved in fucking politics. It just is not.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing the Orange Man's first run.
He wasn't, because he was. That was when he was just starting to get his stock up with all the Teslas and whatever the fuck else, and the Twitter to X.
He might be a robot.
It was just tragic, and now he's got his
His
profit from all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to, especially because he endorsed Donald Trump, and now he's gonna try to use that to keep getting his way based off of how he wants. That's how I see the things that I find out on the internet and whatever
more you fucking
news.
know.
It's just
This shit is
I
crazy.
really thought about that too. I said, where did he come from? Please go and craft a better vehicle.
And his
or actually,
kids-
better yet, go ahead and discontinue all the fucking Teslas you ever made in your life.
for
Teslas are
real.
fucking trash. The Cybertruck is absolutely awful. Okay, I literally reposted a meme
They're
where
all
if I was in the
burning
middle of
up.
a fucking desert and I needed help and somebody in a Cybertruck pulled up and said, "Let me help you," I'm going to just die. Do not come up in a Cybertruck trying to help me.
Please
Leave
don't.
me alone.
Please.
Okay, because you are the number one enemy.
And then his kids are being raised in the trenches, because ain't no way you allowing them to be in the fucking White House talking like that. Why is that? Why are they talking like this?
Listen.
You got all this money and you can't teach them manners.
It's he is teaching them to be exactly who he wants them to be. I'm sure, which
Fucking
is terrible. But
baby trenches, baby YNs.
people gonna do whatever they want. I
They are.
just really think it all went downhill when he ruined Twitter. I wasn't a big Twitter person when it happened,
And
but I felt like it was so unnecessary for him to do that and then change it into something that was just.
Love Twitter down. Like when
Oh
I
my
say
God.
Twitter is like literally after the whole sidekick movement, AIM. Once they took AIM away, it seemed like everybody did though. It was either once they took AIM and MySpace away. Let's put it like that. Facebook and Twitter was the ultimate place to be. Like, and I literally just stopped using Twitter once I started embarrassing myself as a baby mama because my baby daddy was putting me through the fucking hells. But
Oh, I do remember that.
yeah, but Twitter was the place to be. Like, you can look, they had everything. I ain't gonna lie, they had the best porn too. I ain't gonna hold you.
Also, why the hell
Okay.
would you change the? Well, okay, look, I'm just gonna move on because I want to say this before she said anything either. X, please. I mean, and this is a very, very outdated conversation, but goddamn, if I was an active Twitter user and I got news that he was about to change it to X, I would delete my shit too. I'm not about to be on anything called X, okay? If I was gonna do something like that,
Yeah.
I better be getting paid for it. It better be a check coming my way for whatever
Yeah.
account I have on X. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Nasty.
And it's true because I have not even. Ever since I deleted that app and then they changed it to X, no point to be on my phone. I don't want to look at that. Like,
It's nasty work.
is it a dating app? Like what? X? Come on now.
It's just absolutely disgusting. Elon Musk just needs to, I don't know, exile him. Him and Donald Trump and all of you
him
MAGA
up outta
supporters.
here.
You just simply got to go, okay? Because, listen, that can be a conversation for another time because we can sit here all night till the sun goes down.
Random thought. I'm gonna do this every EP because my head just be going. I think I need to take some pills or something. But random thought. Today's Sunday. You know what comes on Sunday? Baddies.
Is Baddies coming out today?
Yes.
That wasn't the last. Oh no, I know it wasn't. That's right. It
No.
did have a up next.
But get Natalie and Akbar up out of here. Get them up out of here. Because the only one that I'm looking at right now who gonna stand 10 toes, heavy hitter, Tinka.
We love Tinka.
She gonna do her big one because, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to love old girl down. What's her name that had the little pew pew?
Tommy.
I used to love Tommy down, like down. But when she did that, that was just like, Tommy, you know how to throw. You know how to throw hands, like. And the only reason I'm even saying this is because in the earlier clips you saw that Natalie called Tommy and told Tommy to leave her gun at home, and yet Natalie still didn't warn the girls like, hey, she might be bringing something. Y'all might want to watch out. I know y'all probably want to fight her or whatever, but keep your head on the swivel. Like, she coming prepared on some weird shit. But the fact that the team, Zeus, even allow her to come and do that was just real untasteful. Like, you know, like, I get it. It's all scripted. Everything's done. They probably did know. And that's probably why, you know, my girl stood up, took them pellets like it was candy getting thrown at her, maybe dollars. But still, just the fact that they allowed it to be aired, knowing like the stigma that goes behind like guns and everything right now, it's just so untasteful. They could have just gotten in paint like they've been doing. It's just it's just weird to me. But we're going to be watching another episode tonight, and we're going to touch bases on it fully on our next EP because unfortunately we watch baddies traditionally. It's like a thing for us. I cook dinner, we drink liquor, and we talk our shit. But
we watch baddies.
And we watch baddies.
Even though it's like the most, like she said, distasteful brain rot. It's unfortunately entertaining.
Unfortunately,
you know?
yeah.
And you get to watch a bunch of women make themselves look a little crazy. They look like fools most of the time. But you know what? It's better to see it being done than you do it yourself, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. So
I don't know.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this up for you guys. I hope you guys tapped in to our last EP. I know the audio is probably not the best, but still go tap in. The conversation was amazing. But we apologize in advance for our last episode, but this one is way better. Look, come on out. And then comment down below, because it is Women's Month. So comment down below whatever you feel like we need to connect to being a scam. We don't care what it is. We're accepting all the commentary because we don't take things personal. We gonna make lemonade out of it. We show is. We show is.
Yeah, we're gonna make lemonade and then we're gonna put some Crown Royal in it and drink it.
Yeah, we love that. We love that. But I'll be adding her, if I haven't already. I know I probably did. Add her TikTok so you guys can go follow her. Show her some love as a new mom. You know, that's what's needed. You know, especially doing right now. Mm-hmm. I love y'all. I think maybe.
A little bit, sort of, kind of.
And that wraps it up.